each individual, because for outwardly, for the people, till death take place, the body is there. So it looks that particular man is talking, that particular Jivan Mukta is talking, that particular Mahatma is talking. So there seems to be, and there seems to be that it comes from the individuality, but it is only an appearance. Even though it comes to the individuality, in the pre-liberation period, it was all based on the I, the ego. But now, as I said, it's going to be based on pure life, a life where there is no impurity, where everybody is equal, where there is no question that somebody is inferior or somebody is superior. It's a beautiful life. So it will be based on that. So in one point of view, we can call it as unique individuality. Unique in the sense, each individual is talking. So it is not a general individuality that each individual is talking from his own gunas, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna. So each one is talking in his own way, based on his earlier conditioning. So one Jivan Mukta then will not be talking like the other one. No, it is not so. It all comes from the same source, the ultimate source, the reality. So that is the type of action we will be having. The question will be, now the actions during the pre-liberation period, when we are supposed to be bound by Maya, as I said, it is marked by ego. So, is there any special distinguishing mark for the actions which take place after the liberation? The action after the liberation will have no compulsion. Neither from your inside you will say, I have to do it. No question. Because it is a liberation. Where there is a compulsion, there cannot be a liberation. So you are free. Then how can there be a compulsion? But it takes place from the one source, from the top source, from the reality. And it is a beautiful action. So, how to distinguish it? Is there any distinguishing mark? Yes. The post-distinguishing mark is only one thing. That is, there will be no reactions. Now, the word reaction has got a slightly different meaning. Normally we said, I do an action now. When you get the resultant, the papa and the dukkha in the next birth, you call it a reaction. Now it is not the reaction that I am going to talk. Anyway, in between, I would like to talk a little more about that post-liberation period, the work done by a Jivan Mukta. Ashtavakra describes that as how does a Jivan Mukta live, how does he act. It says, Nitaha samsara vatena vartate shushka parnavate. He remains like a dry leaf. A leaf which has been fully dried up, there is no more space for it to shrink or to do anything, any action further. It is fully shrunk. it is already lying down on the floor. It cannot do anything by itself. But then there is a big wind. There is a cosmic wind, because it is by the cosmic wind of action the Lord runs the entire samsara, the entire universe. So, when the entire universe is being propelled by a force, the same force makes everybody act. If there is a big storm, even a small blade of grass which is sitting quietly, it could be moved some hundreds of kilometers. I am told in America, the houses are all made of some artificial structures which are all joined together, assembled together and made. So, early morning after a storm, when the fellow gets up, he finds he is 300 kilometers away from the original place. So in the same way it happens. Nitaha samsaravatena. He is being wafted by the cosmic wind of action, where that reality, while running the universe, produces. So, is a small infinitesimal part, yeah, Jivan Mukta. And so, he is also propelled in that way. Now, we are giving the example of a dry leaf. When the storm blows, the dry leaf will fly and go 100 meters and fall somewhere. Where exactly? A newly born worm is squirming on the ground because the sun is too hot. It is unable to bear it. There is nothing which can be done. This leaf goes and falls over it, and it gives it shelter. And you will say, see that Jivan Mukta. What a compassion. He goes and helps that worm. It was not out of his own volition. It was not out of his own willpower. He was made to go there and render shelter by the Lord, by the Supreme Lord, by the ultimate reality. Right? Nitaha samsaravatena vartate shushka parnavate. So it is thus that a Jivanmukta acts. And the same, our Ashtavakra says, the Jivanmukta has got no ego of his own. So, na audhatyam, na chakarunyam. He is not arrogant. Arrogant means it is a question of a demonstration of one's superiority complex. Well, I am superior to you. Who are you? You are a worm. No. He doesn't have that. He is absolutely humble. That's all. Humble to whom? Humble to nobody. He is himself the ultimate reality. That's all. He bows to himself. Makhyam nam manamaha. I bow to myself, he starts. There is nobody else. Na audhatyam, na cha karunyam. Neither has he got a compassion. If there is anybody other than me, then I will have to show compassion. When there is only one ultimate reality, and we are all an integral part of it, it is that which has come and entered into each body, that reality. Just like the generator is there, and all the bulbs are lighted by the same generator. The same electricity goes and enters as light in all the bulbs. There is no separate wire from each. That's all. Then, if that is so, then all the bulbs should be giving you infinite wattage, because my generator has got infinite wattage. So everything should have infinite wattage. But then we find that all of them are not similar. One is 0 watt, another is 100 watt, another is 25 watt, and yet another is 1000 watt for the TV purposes. How then this difference when if it is the same electricity? If the same divine power has come into all our bodies, then we should all weep at the same time. We should all laugh at the same time. And we should all be of the same capacity. It is not so. Somebody is a peon, somebody is a clerk, somebody is an officer, somebody is the head of a big corporate body. How that is so? It is not due to any defect in that power which has come. It is all due to the defect in the bulb, in the container. We are the contents. There is the container. If we purchase some tinned fruits, the fruits are the contents, and there is a dabba, there is a container made up of tin. It's of no use to us. We just throw it off. Similarly, the body is of no use to a Jivan Mukta. It just looks that he is maintaining it for you and I, because it is not out of our volition, it is all the thought of the cosmic body. One thought has become one man, another thought has become another man. The entire billions of the billion thoughts of the cosmic reality. And each one represents that. But then he has produced a cosmic body for us to work, because the energy cannot work without a medium through which it has to work. If there is no bulb, the electricity cannot come by itself and then shine in the air. It has to come through a wire. It has to come into a bulb and then give us the light. So it is the medium which has got the problems. It is the medium which is not pure, which is impure. And, well, we call in the case of a bulb, that which holds the entire light has come into each, the entire wattage. Each one is full. It is of the same wattage as the generator. But then it is not coming out. It has become a thorough miser. He has got a lot of money in his bank, but he is not prepared to spend a pie. Not one pie is coming out. So similarly, the electricity is not coming out fully. It comes out a little, it comes out a little more, it comes out a much more. It is because of the resistance in the bulb. Then what is the resistance? What do you mean by resistance? Resistance means obstacle, impediment on the way. So, what is that impediment? What is that obstacle in us which does not allow our full divinity to come out when it is inside? Well, and our elders have found it. We have got mainly Raga Dvesha. We have got an attachment. This is my son, this is my grandson. That fellow, That's my belief. Neighbor's grandson is a nuisance, always comes and looks at us. Thus we distinguish. It is thus naturally, it is all the impurity we have. It is all the impurity we have. If you are pure, you know pretty well, it is the same electricity which is there. There is no question of electricity in the neighbor, or this neighbor or that neighbor. In all the same electricity dwells. It is I who is everywhere. So where is the question of the enemy? Where is the question of an attachment? Where is the question of my son? Where is the question of my neighbor's son? It's all one and the same. So it is that special attachment to few and the special revulsion to others. It may come up to the stage of a hatred. It can even go up to the stage of an enmity. It is that which stands in the way. If only we can avoid it, it's a pure life. Nothing can affect it. You see, a king had a big fighting cock. He wanted there should be a cock fight. Each of his lords, he had a fighting cock. So one day he wanted all of them should be brought together in the arena and the one will fight against the other. Well, it will give me a lot of pleasure to see. So he wanted to train it so that it should win. After all, the king's cock, it cannot afford to be defeated by others. So he gives it to a trainer who is a Sufi saint. He said, yes, I shall train it. 2 months over. Hey, what has happened? Have you trained it? Sir, it's still, whenever something else comes, it lets out a war cry. That's bad. So I have to still train it. Hey, it is all required in a war. I don't understand this fellow. He said it is bad. Anyway, I shall leave it to him. He's a trainer. He didn't tell him anything. Another 2 months passed. Hello, have you trained my cock? I have trained it all. Now it doesn't let out the war cry. But whenever something comes behind, it just bristles his body. I don't want it. Hurry. It's very essential in a war. You should bristle yourself and get up. Buck up. Anyway, the trainer knows his job. Keeps quiet. Another 2 months passed. The trainer came. King, my cock is now ready. Okay. Then his cock was brought. And all the lords, they brought their own cocks. This was standing in the middle, absolutely unmoved, like a Jivan Mukta, with both the eyes closed like. And the other cocks, they bristled themselves and they let out a war cry and danced a war dance. It didn't lift its eye and look at anybody. It was there, absolutely quiet. The king is surprised. Hey, what sort of trainer? He has not trained it to fight. The cocks become afraid. It is not a cock, sir. It is some strange animal now. If it is a cock, it should have let out a war cry. It should also have bristled. It would have done a bigger war dance. So, then